Good day. I'm J. Crisel B. Elia, and I'm here to discuss about our developing countries, which is the result of economic globalization and global trade. But for now, let's have a brief explanation of globalization, economic globalization and global trade. Globalization is a process of interaction and integration among nations, people politically, culturally, or economically into a larger community. It is also the process by which ideas, knowledge, information, goods and services spread around the world. It increasing trade between nations based on a stable institution that allow individuals and organizations in different nations to exchange goods with minimal friction. Under this, there are three sectors of globalization, which is responsible in developing our country. These are economic globalization, political globalization, and cultural globalization. But today, let me discuss about the first sector of globalization, which is the economic globalization. The focus of economic globalization is on the integration of international financial markets and the coordination of financial exchange. The rapid growing significance of information in all types of productive activities, and marketization are the two major driving forces of economic globalization. The pie chart here represents the effects of economic globalization worldwide. Uh, West, South, and North ay parehas ang kanilang rate ng financial. Then, ang East, siya yung pumapangalawa, din yung Central yung panghuli. And we are in a growing world. Next, we have 5 components of economic globalization. Andito yung international trade. International trade, an increasing share of spending on goods and services is devoted to imports, and an increasing share of what countries produce is sold as export. And next, second, foreign direct investment or FDI. Investment made to acquire lasting interest in enterprises operating outside of the economy of interview. It is an investment in the form of a controlling ownership in a business in one country by an entity based in other country. Next, the capital market. Capital market flow refers to the movement of money for the purpose of investment, trade, or business operations. Example of these are financial assets, including loans, bank, deposit, draft, acceptances, notes, and government and private debt, and so on. Second to the last is migration. Migration Migration is one of the most visible and significant aspect of globalization. It contributes to the intensification of socio-economic and political relation across borders. Last is diffusion of technology, rapid growth and adoption of information technology. Technology advanced advancement reduce cost of transportation and communication across nation and thereby facilitate global sourcing of raw materials and other inputs. Uh, Economic globalization as the rev- irreversible trend. Mm. The It increases in the interdependence of world economies as a result of the growing scale of cross-border trade of commodities and services, flow of international capital, and wide and rapid spread of technologies. International finance came into being to serve the needs of international trade and investment activities. This uh, Industrial structures of all the countries have been also undergoing readjustment and upgrading. Countries gradually entering the era of knowledge economy and have started to shift to developing countries many labor intensive industries of weak international competitive. This component plays huge role in our society, which their function is to cope up with the changes and development of our country. But we're not done yet because the focus of this presentation are the relationship of global trade and economic globalization. With that, let's proceed to the next slide. Global trade and economic globalization. Uh, it is the import and export of goods and services across international boundaries. Global trade is also known as international trade, which is the first component of economic globalization. It is the exchange of capital, goods, and services across international borders or territories because there is a need or want of goods or services. There are and benefits of global trade. Um, Global trade allows for a specific specialization and lower cost to consumers. Uh, it allows countries to expand their markets and access goods and services that otherwise may not have been available domestically. This ultimately results in more competitive pricing and brings a cheaper products home to the consumer. It can create economic wealth on a global scale. There are positive impact of global trade on our society, such as increase in the national income, access to global capital and investment, capital emergence of new business opportunities, increase in loans and investments, technology transfer, development of energy and communication substructure, improvement of labor quality and working condition. This would help our country to achieve economic growth. 3. A country generates revenue from exporting to excess goods and services that its domestic market doesn't need other countries that have a different comparative advantages. Global trade can also reduce international conflict and war. Third, encourage the relocation for resources to more efficient activities. And those open up opportunities and create jobs. This trade reduces the incentives of contiguous countries to fuel civil conflict in their neighbors, similarly to the case of interstate wars. And thank you po.